In this very moment, in every country, someone is staring at his screen. He wants to log in, but the password is gone. He thinks, he prays, he types, wrong again. A daily silent frustration the mind was never designed for. Passwords began 50 years ago as a lab gimmick. One shared computer, one engineer's word to block another. The internet took that gimmick and ran. Billions of doors, but the same type of lock. And this lock failed because it is in human nature to forget. Until there came passkeys. Every day, billions of people type a password. Most of the time, they don't even think about it until they forget it. That small pause, that moment of doubt, is the sound of an old system struggling to survive. Passwords are everywhere, but they are phasing out every day. Why passwords exist? Passwords were invented over 50 years ago. Not for the internet, not for the billions of people. They were created in research labs where a few engineers shared one computer and needed to keep files separate. At that scale, passwords worked. Then the internet grew, but passwords stayed the same. The era when passwords had their breakthrough. As the web expanded, every service needed identity. Email, banking, work, social media, to name but a few. And each one required every individual to come up with secret codes to use for verification upon return for access to be granted, the password. And humans did what humans do best. What we do best. Reuse the passwords, simplify them, and after forget them. Not because we are careless, but because human memory has limits. We were asked to protect our digital lives using a tool our brains were never built to manage. How attackers took advantage. Attackers didn't break encryption. They didn't hack systems. They hacked people. Phishing emails. Take for instance the Yahoo password disaster in 2012, where the Yahoo Voices platform was breached through a simple but devastating flaw. Passwords were stored in plain text, entirely unencrypted. A group of hackers known as D33DS Company exploited the SQL injection vulnerability and openly dumped 450,000 username password pairs onto the internet. Anyone could use these credentials to access users' emails or use them on other sites where passwords were reused. The anatomy of the scam. Phishing works through psychological manipulation. An attacker might craft an email that shows up as a password reset notice from your bank or work account. The victim clicks the link, lands on a convincing fake login page, and enters their credentials directly into the attacker's hands. Once the password is captured, the attacker can access email inboxes, reset other linked accounts, move laterally into corporate systems, harvest more data, or perform financial fraud. This paradigm explains why stolen passwords are so valuable. They are reusable, passport-like digital keys. This wasn't a flaw in passwords. This was the nature of passwords. Why fixing passwords didn't work? The internet tried to fix the problem. Stronger rules, more symbols, frequent resets, password managers. The security got harder, people didn't get better. We kept fixing the lock instead of replacing the door. Eventually, the question changed. Not how do we make better passwords, but why are we still using them at all? The shift that changed everything. The change didn't arrive loudly. No big announcement, no countdown. It arrived quietly. inside devices that people already owned, phones, laptops, and operating systems. The internet stopped asking, "What do you know?" and started asking two new questions. What do you have? And who are you? This is where passkeys begin. What are passkeys? With passkeys, your device becomes your identity. It creates a private cryptographic key. That key never leaves your device. When you sign in, the website sends a challenge. Your device proves it owns the key. No password, no typing, no secrets sent over the internet. Your fingerprint or face just unlocks the process locally. There is nothing to remember, and best of all, nothing to steal. Why passkeys change security? Because there is no shared secret. Phishing stops working, credential stuffing fails, brute force attacks become useless. This isn't just more convenient, it removes the weakest link in security, human memory. But removing passwords doesn't remove risk, it simply moves it. The new risks. Identity now lives in devices. Take for example your Google account, which is a master identity that controls access to Gmail, YouTube, Google Drive, Maps, Android devices, and thousands of third-party apps. But how does this work in real life? When you sign in with Google, you are letting Google confirm who you are without creating a new password elsewhere. Your email, name, profile photo, and security settings become your digital passport. This is why it matters. One identity can be used for many services, and this means a centralized password and security management. The big risk here is, if compromised, attackers can access multiple platforms at once. And this is what makes Google identity too powerful, but too dangerous at the same time. In case you've lost your device, data recovery matters more. A few platforms now manage identity for billions. That raises new questions. Who gets locked out? Who controls recovery? And who owns the keys? The internet didn't become risk-free. It became more centralized. The quiet end of passwords. Most people won't notice when passwords disappear. They will realize they haven't typed any for months. No resets, no remembering, no frustration. Security becomes invisible, strong, silent, and automatic. Passwords aren't being improved, they are being erased. And in a world without passwords, the most important question is no longer, what is your password? It is, who controls your identity and who holds the keys? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.